This automation right here will help you with the onboarding process. That way, those small repetitive tasks that you keep needing to do whenever you close a client get automated immediately. Now, by that, I mean you go ahead, you send a welcome email, then you create the Google Drive folder where you'll store the contracts, the resources, all of that stuff within that specific folder with the name of that client. And then it creates a task for you to go ahead and follow up with them. And then it updates all of that information once again in the Google Road. And each time it will start whenever you add a new client, so you don't even need to worry about that. So let me go ahead and show you that it works. So that right there is a test client that I added. So I added the client name, email, service, start date, and the status. Left that open. Onboarded date, left that open. Execute the workflow. It goes ahead and first waits to see how many there are. Then it goes ahead, grabs that one. It waits a bit, sends the welcome email. It creates that Google Drive folder, creates the task, and then it updates the information. And then you'll see it has stored the status onboarded. And now they're officially on board. So, and the onboard date when all of this happened, let's go ahead and check the email that it sent. And here you can see, here's the email that it sent. Welcome aboard. My name there, hi. Here's the email right there. And that's the service that I will be giving them as what they signed up for. And then for you to see that it made the Google Drive folder right here, here's what it created. Kalen, lead magnet service, the service I'm offering for them right there. And then within the tasks, as you can see, tasks made right there. New client check in 48 hours after onboarding email sent on the date when it was sent. And this has a due date, which is Wednesday, the 15th April. So it gives us about 2 days to do all of that. And I'm basically going to go ahead and now show you how to build that automation for yourself. But before that, you need to go ahead and you need to have a Google Sheet ready with whatever name you want to name it. Then you want to make sure that it has the following column names. So client name, email, service, start date, status, and onboarded date. Then you want to leave the status open and you want to leave the onboarded date open as well. But the rest of that, you need to fill in that information because that's what you'll be putting in manually whenever there's a new client. So let me go ahead and show you the automation. Let's go ahead, rename that onboarding automation template. And then the very first that you want to go ahead and put down, search Google Sheet. And here where it says on row added, you want to click that one because specifically that means you've gotten a new client and you only want to get that one. All right, so I'll leave that as every minute. So whenever a new email is added in, it will not take long for it to go ahead and do all of this. So then document name, whatever you named it, have it as client onboarding sequence. Sheet name, you want to go ahead and you grab it right here. So there was sheet 1 where it's stored. And then the trigger, row on, and you want to leave that there. So new client, and that is basically all you want to do inside of here. Now afterwards you want to go ahead and now we want to wait for a bit. This will help for in case we're doing a lot of clients all at once so that the automation does not break down. So you want to go ahead, set that to 2 seconds so it doesn't take long. After that, here's where we're going to send the welcome email. You want to go ahead, send message. But first, now we need test data to work with, and I already have it in there. Let me just clear that now for the purpose of showing you. So execute the workflow right here. It goes ahead, grabs it, and now it's gotten that, and that error is precisely what we're looking for, so don't worry about that all too much. Here where it says to, you want to drag their email to the to, so it sends it to them. Here where it says subject, you can go ahead and type in whatever subject you want, so welcome board, and then add their name to personalize it. So there we go. And then the email right here is the welcome email that you're going to be sending. So I already have something for myself. I will just copy right here, so the welcome email, so it doesn't take me long. Copy and then paste it right here, and when you go to HTML, this is how it will appear. As you can see, new client on board. I need to go ahead and change that because that's not how I have this Google Sheet named. Then I want to drag a name there, and here where it says I'm excited to get you started on your that's the service you're going to be offering to them. So drag that in there. Now it will change for every single person, and this is how it will appear for them. Now that we've done all of that, you want to go to click options, append n8n attribution, toggle that off. Here where it says send a name, put your own name, Kalen. Now if you don't put your name there, it'll just go ahead and replace it with the email. Now after you've done all of that, you want to go ahead and create the Google Drive folder for that person. So So go ahead, select create folder. And now the folder name, you want to ideally go ahead and make it the name and the service that you're offering. So drag in the client name, then add a stripe right there, and then new client, add in the service that you're offering to them. So right there. So that's going to be the name of the Google Drive folder that we're making. So have that in whatever folder it is. This is my drive for me. And then the main folder where you're storing all of this information. So go ahead, click that client folder right there. Then the options, you can just go ahead and leave that, because this one, that is the main folder that I specifically made, where I'm going to be storing the folders that I create of the clients within that folder, basically. So create, now this is where you're going to be storing all of the documents and all of that information of that specific person and the contracts that you have. Then right after that, you want to now go ahead, search Google Tasks as you want to add tasks, and here where it says create task, click that. And then here where it says task list or ID, yes, I already have one within the Google Task named client follow-up. So make sure you have a list where you can store it. And then the title right here as well, grab the title. So I already have it right there for me. So follow up with, and then the name of the person, change that to expression, and then add a field right there. You want to make the due date until when they have time to complete this task. Take that, put that right there. And this basically just means that it'll give you 2 days extra starting from today. So it'll then be the 15th, as you can see right there. Then add field once again, go ahead, click the notes, change it to an expression, and add whatever note you want right there. I already have something to copy and paste for myself. The new client right there, check in 48 hours after onboarding, email sent on. So go ahead, it creates the follow-up task for me to remember that. Now you want to go ahead, type Google Sheets, and then you want to pick update your own sheet, because you now want to go ahead and mark them as onboarded. Alright, so now you want to go ahead back to that same document name, client onboarding sequence, now the same sheet right there. And now you want to match it on the email. So then you go back to the new client right here. So drag in the client email, and then you can go ahead and delete all of that right there. So the status and the onboarded date, that is all we want to change the information of. So the status right here, we're going to go ahead and type in onboarded. Then you can add an emoji if you want to really do that, but I'm just going to say onboarded. And the date when they got onboarded, you can just go ahead and do the following. I quickly went ahead and copied it so I can paste it right here. Now basically this is how it's going to format it. If you put a DD, it's going to put the days, and if you put 2 M's, it's going to be the month, formatted like this, and if it's 4 Y's, the full year right there. But that's how it's going to update the information. So, and that is how you build the automation. Now let's go ahead and actually see that it works. Go ahead, execute the workflow, checks for that client, waits, goes ahead and it sends the email, creates the client folder, creates the task, and updates the information. Let's go ahead and check if it actually did all of that. So as you can see, onboarded right there, onboarded date and the email. And for the email, here you go, you can see here's the email, it sent the service right there, and there's the name also to personalize everything. So email sent to them, the welcome email. And now as you can see, Google Drive folder also created right there. Now to check for the tasks, and as you can see, another task. Seeing as I didn't delete the previous one, that's why there's 2. But as you can see, there's another task newly generated with the 15th of April as our due date. And that's basically how you do it. Now you have something that'll save you time from doing the repetitive tasks. Whenever you sign on a new client, so it goes ahead, it sends the message for them, creates the folder, creates the task for yourself to remember, and it updates the information. And just so you know, I will have this workflow down below in the description in case you want to go ahead and you want to grab it for yourself and immediately get started with it and implement it within that business of yours. That brings us to the end of this video. I hope you found that useful, and hopefully this saves you a lot of time.